Yeah, I just sent it to you just in case. I don't know why. Yeah, I was just gonna. It was literally that's how I was gonna start. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. The recording is officially started. We're gonna get started. We don't have a ton of time. You don't need to be typing in the chat unless you have a legitimate question. So stop typing in the chat. Also, I'm going to take all the questions at the end. So probably just hold your questions in your brain. Then I'll take them at the end, okay? Ella, put your mask over your mouth and stop staring into the camera like that. All right. So right now, you are about to learn about your Q4 writing prompt. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm going to share my screens with you, and we're going to walk through the steps of the writing prompt and all the things available to you, and then I will take questions. So Mrs. Kneifel was really trying to think hard, what do I want to do for Q4 writing prompt? What do I want to do for Q4 writing prompt? Because I know we have a lot going on with iLearn and your state fair project. You know, there is lots to do these days. So I really thought hard, and I decided to make your Q4 writing prompt go along with your state fair project. So if you were on your Google Classroom, you will now see this Q4 writing prompt. I'm on rotate my kids' Kneifel's, but if you're in Jones or Mississippi, you'll see the exact same thing, except for yours won't be green. It'll be a different color. So all the information you're going to need for your Q4 writing prompt will be right here. The recording that I'm recording right now, I will put here later. So all things for Q4 writing prompt are right here. If you click on it, it says, for Q4, you will be completing a persuasive writing prompt using all the information you have gathered for your state project. Your writing prompt is due by Wednesday, May 5th at 2:35 p.m. That is 2 weeks away. You have 2 weeks and like 4 hours to get this done. And remember, once you submit your writing prompt, you may not get it back, okay? When you submit it, it is free for me to grade. So the first thing we want to go over is Q4 writing performance test, rubric, and directions, right? That makes sense. Let's go over that first. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to share my screen, and you guys have access to this at any time that you need it. So let me zoom in, and it says name and given, date given. You don't even need to fill that in. Can you just listen to me then? Or what do you need?
I was trying to get on the meeting. Every time I do it goes to this.
Okay, well, I'm in the middle of something, so just look at someone's and hear what I'm saying, or sit behind me. So it says persuasive writing prompt Q4, and we know what persuasive writing is. That's when we're trying to get someone to do what we want them to do. Like if you really want Pizza Hut for dinner, you try to tell your mom all the reasons you want Pizza Hut. So the prompt is called, Where Should I Vacation? Dun, 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 dun. Prompt. You have been researching a state. Every single one of you has a state assigned. You are going to write a paper persuading someone to visit your state for vacation. Why should someone visit your state? What does your state have to offer? Okay, so that's what your prompt is. You're going to tell someone, hey, this is why you should come to Indiana. Hey, this is why you should come to Hawaii. So your introduction, you might want to have a hook, some way to grab them. You're going to introduce the readers to your topic, which is your state, and your opinion. Your opinion is that they should come to your state for vacation. I'm already telling you your opinion. You don't get to say why they should not come. It's why they should. Your opinion is that they should come to blank state for vacation. That'll be your introduction. Nolan, stop that. Put it back on, please. You'll have one paragraph. I already said, Eden, it is due May 5th, and it is currently on the screen right now. Please hold our questions for the end. So your introduction will be one paragraph. You will have a total of 3 body paragraphs. In your body paragraphs, each paragraph should be dedicated to a certain thing, your reason supporting your argument or your opinion. You should have supporting details and evidence, and you should kind of conclude each paragraph leading to your next reason. I already wrote an example. We're going to go over a whole example together. But your body paragraphs are where you're going to tell all the reasons you should come. Maybe one paragraph is going to be dedicated to all the museums you have, and you're going to talk about all the fun things you should do there. Maybe one paragraph is going to be about the weather, how you have fantastic weather, how you should visit because of the weather. Maybe your third paragraph is going to be about all the state parks that you have, okay? I have lists of things that you might want to talk about later that I'll show you. Then your conclusion, you're going to restate your opinion. You're going to summarize what you said, and you're going to call to action. Your call to action is when you say, hey, go book your vacation, okay? Your call to action is when you tell them to do something. This is due Wednesday, May 5th by 2:35 p.m. And fun fact, I suggest you have someone else, a peer, a parent, anyone look over your interview. There's no formal peer editing at this time because of how COVID is. You must find time on your own to have someone look it over. It is really good to have other people look at your writing, to have someone else view what you're trying to do. So those are the directions. We will talk about those shortly after I finish going over our rubric. Our rubric for language convention is the same as always. For every mistake, it's 1% off. You get very good if you have 0 to 5 errors. Adequate is 6 to 10 errors. Minimal is 11 to 15 errors. And poor is 16 or over. So if you had 10 errors, you would have minus 10, you'd get a 90%. If you had 46 errors, you would get minus 46. You would get a 64%, 54%, whatever the percentage is. For each error, it's minus 1%, and that's how it's been on every single writing prompt. Nothing has changed there. Now here, this is what you'll be getting check marks off. Mia, you have to get it done by the due date. Just letting you know, the option is to get it done on the due date. We have 2 full weeks. I will show you an example. It is not as daunting as you think. Let's not start talking about not getting it done before I've even finished going through it. So if you have an introductory paragraph stating your state, saying, oh, my state's Indiana, and your opinion, you're going to get a point. If you have a conclusion paragraph summarizing your whole essay, you're going to get a paragraph. If you have in your conclusion, if it restates your opinion, telling them, what you think they should do, you get a point. So you actually get 2 checks for conclusion if you do a good conclusion. You need to have at least 3 body paragraphs supporting your opinion. You get a check. Details about the state throughout the essay, check. So there's 5 checks total. If you get all 5 checks, you get 100%. If you get 4 out of 5, you get a 90%. If you get 3 out of 5, you get an 80%. If you get 2 out of 5, you get a 70%. If you get 1 out of 5, you get a 60%. So even if you get no checks, you're getting a 50%. Okay? So, this is a little bit more creative, and you're using all the information you've already gathered. So I'm not grading it as hard as I think I graded the last one. Just fun fact. So that is the rubric and the directions. I'm going to go back now, and I'm going to find the persuasive writing graphic organizer. This graphic organizer that's about to be on my screen does not have to be turned in. This is for you to use to help you with your writing, okay? So your introduction, this is where you give your opinion, say your state. The body, you need 3 different body paragraphs. So there's 1, 2, 3, and this is where you're going to give reasons for your opinion and give the supporting details. And then your conclusion, you have to restate your opinion and summarize your reasons. Down here, I wrote things you might want to talk about. You might want to talk about the location of your state. You might want to talk about tourist places. Maybe things to do outdoor. You're going to have a paragraph about things to do outdoors. Maybe you're going to have a paragraph about things to do indoors. Maybe you're going to have a paragraph about the nature, like your state parks, your lakes, your rivers, your ocean, your forests. Maybe you have, a lot of mountain regions, and there's all different fun things to do in the mountains. You could have a paragraph about that. Maybe you know about special festivals that happen in your state. You could do a paragraph about that. Maybe you're going to talk about how, it's Wyoming and how there's all this open land. There's no busy interstate highways, and you're going to talk about that. Or maybe you have New York, and you're going to talk about New York City, how it's hustle and bustle and how it's so fun to see there. And then another thing you can talk about is weather. This is something Mrs. Kneifel wished she would have put in her example, but I totally forgot. So if Mrs. Kneifel was doing it again, maybe it'd have a whole paragraph about the weather. How if you come to Indiana and you come on the right week, you might experience all 4 seasons in 1 week. How lucky is that? Or you might, maybe you're in Florida and you're going to talk about how the weather's tropical and how it's always pretty warm, how you don't get snow, how, if you're tired of the snow where you live, come to Florida where you don't get snow. So these are just options of things you might want to talk about. And this graphic organizer, like I said, does not need to be turned in. This is just for you to, if you want, to space out your writing so you can see it all together. Now I'm going to go back to my quarter 4 writing, and I'm going to show you my example. I wrote a writing prompt, okay? I personally wrote a writing prompt. and we're going to read it together. You have access to this. You can see this anytime you want. This is what Mrs. Kneifel wrote, okay? So I titled it, Indiana, Here You Come, because I'm persuading you to come to Indiana, by Mrs. Kneifel. So this is my intro, right here. Summer vacation is almost here. I bet you're asking yourself, where should I go on vacation? Okay, that's kind of my hook. I'm saying, oh snap, almost summer vacation. I know just the place for you, Indiana. Indiana is an amazing place with many fun and interesting things to do. You should visit Indiana on your summer vacation, and here is why. So, what's my opinion? My opinion is you should visit Indiana on your summer vacation. Next. My first body paragraph. I literally say first. First, Molly, what's up? Okay, remember, I'm taking all questions at the end. Let me get through this, and then I'll take questions. First, Indiana is in the middle of the United States. It is part of the Midwest. That means whether you're traveling from the east, west, north, or south, it is basically the same distance. There are major airports in and close to Indiana, which means flying to Indiana would be simple. There are also trains that pass through Indiana, so you could travel by train. Also, did you know that Indiana's motto is Crossroads of America? Crossroads of America is Indiana's motto because so many major highways run through Indiana, which means there are plenty of roads that will lead you to Indiana for your next vacation. So there, I talked about this paragraph. I talked about the location of Indiana, okay? And how you could get to Indiana. Obviously, if you had Alaska, you wouldn't be able to say a train could take you to Alaska, right? That's not going to be an option. So maybe I did location and how you could get to Indiana for this first paragraph. My second paragraph is right here. Vacations are all about taking a break from your everyday life and doing something fun. Indiana has so much to offer when it comes to fun. The Children's Museum of Indianapolis is fun for the whole family. Indiana also has a museum of art, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Rhythm Discovery Center, and so many other places. Museums and discovery centers are a great place to have fun and also learn. So here I talked about indoor places that they have. Children's Museum, Museum of Art, Rhythm Discovery Center. I just listed a few places you might be able to visit. That's what I did in paragraph 2. Now paragraph 3. Above our indoor activities to do, are you more into outdoor activities? Lucky for you, because Indiana has 25 different state parks to visit. The state parks are full of nature, wildlife, and trails to go on. Indiana also has sand dunes and many lakes to visit, including Lake Michigan. Lastly, for outdoor activities, there are a few large zoos in Indiana, including Indianapolis and Fort Wayne Zoo. So here I talked about outdoor activities. So within all my reasons are pretty much in these these 3 body paragraphs. Body paragraph number 1, I talked about how to get to Indiana, how it's easy, train, plane, car. And then I also talked about its location. Then I talked about paragraph 2, indoor activities you could do. For paragraph 3, I talked about all the outdoor activities you could do. And then I have a conclusion. Indiana is a great place to travel to. There's so much to see, do, and enjoy by yourself or with your family. Whether you prefer indoor or outdoor activities, whether it is summer or winter, Indiana is a perfect place for a getaway. Do I have you convinced? You better start booking your next vacation right now. So there's my call to action. I said book your next vacation. I summarized it by saying how I talked about indoor activities and outdoor activities. Okay? That's it. That's all my writing. Okay? That is my writing prompt. It is 5 paragraphs. It is 1 page, double spaced. I should have put that in there. Anyways, double space it. And the last thing on your Google Classroom is just the Google Doc that I want you to write it on and turn it in. Do not start your own Google Doc and share it. You write it on here and then you turn it in, okay? Do not share it. So now I have time for questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand in your raise a hand section and I will call on you and we will go over questions. Remember, you should have pretty much all the information you need from your whatchamacallit, from, I don't even remember what it's called, from your research notes. You should have everything you need, really, okay? Just about everything you need. If for some reason you need something else, like maybe you want another tourist place or maybe you want another state park name, guess what? You already have those 4 websites on your research notes to go to and look at again, okay? So you shouldn't be Google searching anything. Just go back to those 4 websites. You should be able to get more information. If you want another tourist place, or if you want another, Mia, you couldn't hear this entire time? Or just this last 5 seconds? Okay, well, that would have been maybe something to say. Did you try going out? Did you try going in? Did you turn the captions on? So if you need more information, you have those 4 websites on your research notes. Click it and go to that, okay? What other questions do we have? Hopefully seeing the example really helps. But like I said, you have an intro, you have 3 body paragraphs, you have a conclusion all about your state. So you already know so much about your state. And remember, I already told you your opinion. Your opinion is that you want us to go to your state. Well, I literally said in the directions that I think you should have someone else peer edit it. That means you write it, someone else looks it over for mistakes, Hannah. Yes, the writing prompt is due in 2 weeks. You do not have to turn in the graphic organizer. I repeat, graphic organizer, you do not have to turn in. But your writing prompt is due in 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to write me 5 paragraphs. Okay? 5 paragraphs in 2 weeks. I think that is plenty of time considering you don't have to do any research. You already have all the research. And I'm already telling you your opinion. Your opinion is come to my state for vacation. Not to live there. We're not talking about living there. We're talking about for vacation. Okay? Are there any questions? This recording will be put into the Q4 writing prompt chunk section on Google Classroom. Obviously, if you have any questions as we go, feel free to email me. Feel free to catch me in the hallway, and I will be able to help you, okay? Any questions? Yes, no, maybe so? All right. Yes, you already have most of the information, so it should be like quick, because you already have the information. You just have to think what's most important. Is the weather a really big selling point for your state, or is the location a really big selling point for your state? Is the outdoor forest and mountains really big selling? You just have to decide about what you want to talk about most. Why is your state great? It's basically what you're writing about. Why should I come to your state? And even if you don't think your state is the most amazing state, you're going to pretend like it is. If there are not questions, I don't know what your question's saying, Mia. You're using the state you have been researching for 2 weeks. You already have all of the information you need. Okay? You're using your state. You're not picking a new state. You're using your state. Yes, Mia, you can talk about whatever you want from your state. I gave you suggestions on what to talk about on the graphic organizer. Okay? All right, you are free to go to math. Math is starting right now. This recording will be put up later. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Go to math. If you have questions as you go, email me. I'll help you. This should not be challenging. You have all of the information you already need. You're just going to tell me in paragraphs why I should visit your state. Go to math class. Go to math class. All right, guys, you have to go to math.